Although binge reading a series is one of my favorite things to do, with new books constantly being added to my TBR, I have a bit of a problem. I have far too many series that I am currently working on. 54 to be exact. So in this video, I will be using a random number generator that corresponds to a series on my series spreadsheet to pick what I'm going to be reading, and hopefully you and I together can get my list of 54 series all the way down. Welcome to the 4th episode of Or Dnf, my series clean out. We have made some progress in past episodes, but I'm still feeling a little overwhelmed by my series spreadsheet. I still feel like there's far too many things on it. So this time I'm going to use a random number generator. I liked in the last episode, which you can go watch. There is a playlist for all 3 episodes, but you can start here. There's no reason you can't start at episode 3. They do not correlate to each other, besides the fact that my number of series is going down. The last episode I was more ruthless because things were a little more random, so I wanted to channel that with the random number generator. I did actually start this vlog a few days ago, so we're gonna go to past Cassidy. We're gonna do some time traveling because I was dog sitting when I started this. Good morning. I am still dog sitting if you watched my last vlog. I leave today, but I wanted to start Or Dnf as soon as possible and get some reading in since I don't really have anything else to do here besides read. So we are going to do my first randomized generator for my first pick. This one's going to be a little bit tricky just because I might have to regenerate it because it does have to be a book that I can access while I'm here. So something that I have the Kindle format for or an audiobook for is what we're going for. I won't be able to access a physical book currently. We are starting with 54 series currently on my TBR. That is close to what we started with last video, so I definitely went up a little bit. I read some new favorite series within the last couple months. It did go up, but hopefully we can bring it back down in today's episode. Okay, I have the generator on my phone. Will you be able to see this? I don't know why it won't focus, so we're just gonna do it the old school way and I'm gonna screen record it. Okay, we're gonna generate. Ready? Hit generate 38. Let me go to the spreadsheet. Wait, okay. We landed on From Blood and Ash, which the next book is The War of Two Queens. Is that on KU? It's not on KU, but I do believe I have access to the audiobook, so I guess I'm diving back into From Blood and Ash. It's been a long time since I've read these. I need some sugar, some caffeine to get me... Whew. Oh, I spilled on myself. That's a big ask. Like, I loved those, but I stopped reading after the 3rd one, and I'm scared. I haven't read them in a long time. I'm absolutely terrified of this pick.
Boy. Go boy.
Can you see her? You can't. Look at her. She's so cute. She's almost never on the couch, but I've been here all day, and so she came to say hi. Okay. I'm just over 50% into The War of Two Queens, and honestly, I forgot how much I personally love Poppy. I think that reading the prequel really did me dirty because I have not read these books for a very, very long time, and then I read the prequel, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and I didn't like the prequel. And everyone said you had to read that series in order to continue reading this series. No, don't go. She would go. Everyone said you had to read that series to continue reading this series, and I understand why they say that, but my enjoyment was ruined by reading that series because I didn't like it, and it made me think that I didn't like this series either. It like gaslit me a little bit. And now that I'm back listening to this, I'm like, wait, no, I really, really, really like these characters. I love that Poppy is not helpless. I love that people believe in her and they let her make her own decisions. Like the way that Kieran will tell her you're doing something stupid, but let her do that stupid thing. I love that so freaking much. Kieran is like top character in this story. I definitely miss Cass. I want more of Cass for sure, but like I cannot wait for what happens in this book because I was already spoiled by JLA herself for that. But I cannot wait for what happens in this book because I know I'm going to be kicking my feet when that happens. I'm really happy that I'm really liking this. I think it'll probably be like a 3.5. I think it had the ability to be a 4 or a 5 if I had read it sooner rather than later. I think I pushed this book off too far that it really, really took me a while to find my feet again, and I'm still kind of like not as invested because it's been so long without those characters. Honestly, part of me was like, should I stop this and should I reread? Because I loved From Blood and Ash. Like, the first book is one of like my favorite romantasy stories. It's what got me, like, it was one of the first ones I read that I liked. I remember just like squealing at the two of them. So I was like, maybe I should reread it. Maybe. But I am liking this one. I will continue after this one, I think. Like, there's no part of me that wants to stop reading this series. But I do hope that I get to the next book after this, which is already out, sooner rather than later, because I think that that would help me enjoy that book a little bit more. So I'm definitely really excited about this one. I forgot how much I enjoyed this world. I also forgot how much happens. I watched Honest Fiction's recap of the book before this, and I was like, wow, so much happens in this book. I do think that the author found her footing a little bit more in this book than she did in the last book. That one was wild and went like unexpected ways and felt a little wonky at times. But this one I feel like has a pretty steady, clear pace for me, and I'm engaged. I'm liking the new characters. Well, some of them probably aren't new, but I don't really remember them, so they all feel kind of new to me. And I'm interested. I'm definitely interested. I do kind of dislike that there's so much information that I needed from the prequel series. I won't be continuing that series, so I might be lost as books go on, because I'm supposed to read a prequel book after this one again and just like kind of go back and forth every single time. And I've decided I don't like that series. I've decided I don't want to continue that series. So hopefully I'm not too confused as everything goes on, because there definitely is a lot of information that I'm like, oh yeah, that was in the prequel series, but I've also blocked the prequel series out of my brain. So we'll see. But I'm definitely enjoying this one, and I cannot wait for Cass and Poppy moments, because we haven't gotten those, but I also can't wait for Cass, Poppy, and Kieran moments. Ugh, so excited. Okay, I'm gonna go back to listening. I'm working on some REALMATHON stuff currently, so that's exciting. I'm making the map. I wasn't gonna have a map. We might still not have a map if I can't make it work, but I'm trying. I'm trying really hard. I definitely was hoping that I would finish the Warp 2 Queens before today, because it's Onyx Storm release day. So I'm putting the Warp 2 Queens on pause, because I'm gonna be spending the next couple days binging Onyx Storm. And I figured I would include it in this video, because technically my number would go up one series if I wasn't binging Onyx Storm, but it will like even itself out, if that makes sense. Like, we'll be at this number of series before I read Onyx Storm, and then we're gonna be back down to this number of series since I read Onyx Storm. I will say I only have 2 hours of listening time left in the War of Two Queens, and I'm having a great time, especially the era of my life that I'm in. I'm loving this. I'm eating this up at every second. I honestly love that things don't feel too easy in this series. They feel like there's actual stakes to it. I definitely don't think anyone's gonna die necessarily, but like, I'm worried for people. I don't think that when things happen, it's like too easy to resolve them, and there is like work that the characters have to put in to do things. And I really appreciate that in a story, especially lots of the fan art I've been reading lately. I feel like there's a certain type of cliffhanger that then you get to the next book and it's just like one and done, and it's so easy to have the character work through what that cliffhanger was, and that's been frustrating me a lot. So reading this one, I'm definitely like happy that I don't feel that way. I definitely feel like the stakes are real. I just love Kieran with my whole heart, and the new dragon shifter that's in this one, I also love him and I want more scenes with him. But Kieran, like, I love a protective man, and Kieran fits that for me. I also love Cass. Like, I love Cass with my whole heart too. He was probably my first book boyfriend, to be honest, because I read ACOTAR and then I read From Blood and Ash right afterwards. And although I loved ACOTAR, Reese is not like my man, if that makes sense. Like, I like him, but I don't like love him. Like, I've never thought of him on like top tier book boyfriend. I love Cass. But Kieran is even better than Cass to me. I love everything about Kieran's character and what he brings to the story and the complicated emotions and things like that. This is like the modern day Twilight in my eyes. Like, I'm loving this, and I'm so shocked because I honestly thought about just DNFing the series because it had been so long and I hated the prequel, and I was like, do I actually want to continue? So I'm happy that it came up in this, because I probably would have DNF'd it and not continued, and I would have regretted that, because I can't wait to get to the next book after this. I can't wait to finish this. I'm so close to the end, and there's things that are about to happen. I believe chapter 44 is when I'm gonna be really excited. Okay, well, I gotta go get Onyx Storm because I do have a pre-order of it through Amazon, but I'm just scared because Amazon was canceling things and all that. But I'm gonna go to the store, and I'm also gonna get myself a copy, which is fine because I also have 2 copies of Iron Flame, and I'm gonna annotate one, and then I'm gonna keep one just for like vibes of the actual series. So I'm gonna go get coffee, and I'm going early to sit at my bookstore in case there's a lineup, and I'm gonna get myself a copy of Onyx Storm, hopefully with the pretty sprayed edges. This is my favorite cover so far. I did not vlog because there was far too many people in there, and that was far too stressful for me. Miley is a coffee fiend. You put a coffee down and she will be drinking it. I picked up Never Keep while I was in the bookstore. I actually wasn't going to get this since all the other Zodiac Academy books that I will be getting are paperback. but I just felt like this looks so pretty and would look pretty on my shelf, so I decided to cave, and also I'll probably want to read the next one as it comes out as well. So I did get this, which is the next series in the Zodiac world. And then the star of the show, Onyx Storm. I think that the sprayed edge on this is actually stunning, and I really do like the cover. I think it's gonna look very pretty next to the others. So I'm very happy that they had this. They had so many copies. So in Canada, Chapters will tell you how much stock they have online, and like it's updated every time someone buys something through their system, it updates automatically. So I can see the stock of every single place in my city, and so I knew the one I went to had 137 copies, and I got there really early. I slowly watched people start to line up, and like there was 5 people lined up, and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna line up because it's like, it's not cold but it's not warm out, and they have 130 copies and it's fine. But as more and more people started to line up, slowly I was like, do I go line up? Do I go line up? So when it hit, I want to say 10 people, I lined up, which I didn't need to. I knew they had 130 copies. They had plenty of copies for us, but it was kind of fun because like it's just like such a moment to line up for a book release. But I was also laughing at us because I was like, why are we lining up in the cold when they have so many copies when we could be in our warm cars? But it has been gotten. I'm going to start some sprints with Patreon now to read this thing. I do have an Amazon copy coming as well, and I do want to annotate one of them, so I'm just going to probably read on my Kindle for now and then annotate when the Amazon one comes, just in case it doesn't have a sprayed edge, because that's why I went and got this one in general, because I was just worried that with all the issues with Amazon it was going to come without this, and I want this. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be heartbroken. I just know it. I was listening to Tolerate It over and over and over again, just preparing for the sad on my way to the bookstore. I'm just here to wrap up my final thoughts on Onyx Storm. I didn't actually do any updates on this just because I knew people wanted to go into this book so blindly. I will have a full review in my wrap up for the month, but for this video I just wanted to give like really brief thoughts that wouldn't spoil anything for anyone. I think that the writing in this improved greatly. It feels very much more grown up. I feel like this was fast paced. It did not have the slumps the other story had. I feel like the side characters were lacking in this for me, and I feel like Rebecca Yarros is going to rip our heart out with the 4th installment. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about Onyx Storm, but that does keep our number even here for me, which is always a good thing. But we are flipping back to From Blood and Ash to get my number down. Well, actually From Blood and Ash will not get my number down because I'm having a great time and I still have another book in this series to read. That's kind of crappy, but also good because I'm happy that I'm loving a book, and that I think the whole point of this is to get my series list to things that I actually want to read. I don't really care what my number is at. I just want it to be series that I'm actively working towards finishing, series I'm actively excited about. Reading this again has really put that on the page for me again because I'm loving this. I'm at the scene and it's incredible. It's amazing. So I definitely think I will be I know I will be continuing on in the series. I'm very happy that we are reading it. I did finish From Blood and Ash. I'm giving this, well, The War of Two Queens, I'm giving it 4 stars like I predicted. I had a really fun time. Obviously that didn't get me down any books at all because I actually was predicting to DNF this series just because it had been so long and I had remembered just like not liking the prequel so much. But I'm really glad I did because honestly I just like love Poppy so much as a character. I really enjoy being in her head, and I mean I love Cass and Kieran so much too, and this book made me happy. This one really did make me happy. I think that this is such a step up from the last book because I do remember when we read the last book everyone thought that it was a little bit murky in like the world building and stuff, and I do think she like found her footing in this one. Is that because I had read the prequel and that does give you a lot of background knowledge? Maybe. So we're gonna see moving forward as I don't read the prequel, although like I'm tempted because I loved this one so much. I'm like, do I try the prequel book 2 again, which would then add something to this list? So I need to think on that and decide what I'm gonna do, but I think I probably won't. I don't know. I'm gonna ask Claire. Claire is my resident JLA expert, and so I'm gonna ask her how necessary it feels if it's going to prevent me from like continuing on in the series. That's the hair dryer if you can hear it. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to say. I really liked how this one wrapped up. I thought that it had a good ending and it led me to wanting to read the next one as soon as possible. So I'm very happy I read this one. Nothing is knocked off the list because I have another book yet in the series, but we can go pick our next read. Even though we've read 2 books already in this video, we are still at 54 series. We're doing such a great job of getting that down. Technically, Onyx Storm did help because we would have gone up to 55. Here we go. Did I touch it? 47. That says 47. Okay, I'm gonna start at the bottom. 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47. Wait, is that right? I need to recount. Wow. This thing really likes this series because we landed on Thief of Silver and Souls, which the third book is Secrets of Graves and Gold, which I am really excited to read, so I'll happily get to that. We also unwrapped this series in the last Or Dnf episode, so obviously the video wants me to complete the series. We'll have a book to go before we're caught up still, but I should fly through this one pretty fast because I have been really enjoying this. This is by Eva Chase. Oh, I actually own it physically. I forgot that I got this one for Christmas. I'm super happy with that pick. I'm wearing the same shirt as I wore yesterday. My hair is wet from my shower, and I have birthday cake for breakfast. I never claimed to be a good adult. I just am who I am, and these are the things I wanted to do. I do have coffee. That is the thing I did for myself today. Yum. Okay, we made a dent into Secrets of Graves and Gold yesterday. Not a big dent, but we did read some. Oh, there's artwork in here. I've been listening to the audiobook. This is the first one I've had physically, and look, there is artwork. There's also an edge on these. I need to get the rest of them. Oh, it is the same artwork at every chapter, which I'm not sure how I feel about. That just feels like a waste of paper. Oops. Oh, no. At 7, we got new artwork, but the 9 is the same again. Oh! Okay. I see. We got 7 is Reeves' POV, so we got a picture of Reeves. So if we change POVs, we get their character art. Okay, I like that. I changed what I said. I do like that. I think that that's fun. Oh, I dropped my bookmark. Okay, well, I'm halfway into chapter 7, and this does jump in right where it left off. It took me a second. I haven't even read this that long ago, but I've just read so many things in between, I feel like. And it did take me a second to like find my footing, but once I did, I started to enjoy it. I don't think that this story is like my favorite romance to ever exist at all. I just like really enjoyed the world building and the plot of this, so I'm definitely engaged in that. This cover feels so soft. I don't have a lot of thoughts. This is kind of like a brain empty book for me, so we will see. I'm going to eat my birthday cake now. I am honestly not farther into this, well, not a lot farther into this than the last time we checked in. I'm on chapter 15, so I'm around 180. There's something about this book that's not hitting for me the way books 1 and 2 did. I think that it's truly middle book syndrome, and I think that this book is a journey. They are journeying, which is like my least favorite thing in a story. I think leaving the setting of the previous books definitely did put a damper on my enjoyment because I loved that setting so much, but then the journeying has made them focus on the character relationship, and I've said it time and time again that the romance in this book is not very good. Like, do not read this for the romance. I think it's like just like the fun time plot and world building that I think is really cool is what carries this story for me typically. So the fact that we are mostly focusing on her relationship with all of the men and this new man who I don't like, that also is not working for me. There's a new man in the Wide Shoes, and he kind of gives me the ick a little bit, so I just don't really like when he's around. Maybe he'll grow on me, but actually 2 characters in this kind of give me the ick. I'm here for 2 of them, and then I don't love the pleasure guy, if that makes sense if you've read this. I don't love him, but the new guy, definitely not for me. There's something about his character that I really just dislike. I'm intrigued to see where the story is gonna go, and I think that this book is just kind of suffering from what it is, and it's just like not my preferred story, but I know so many people who love these like very slow journey arcs that are really about spending time with the characters and getting to know the characters, so I can't like fault the book for that, but I can say that my enjoyment is not as good because of that. And so my cat is drinking my coffee. I will still drink it. They drink literally everything. You put something down and it'll be drinking. Doesn't matter what it is. Every little thing will be licked. Like your straw. They lick your straw. So water bottles, not safe. They'll lick the top of your water bottle. They can't be stopped. What was I saying? I don't know. I honestly don't remember. I got a pea brain. So I'm going to be finishing this, and I will continue on in the series because I've enjoyed it enough, but I definitely am not like racing to pick this one up, which also it could be the fact that I just read Onyx Storm, and I've had so many 5 stars this month that like reading a 3-star feels like kind of rough, even though like I'm still enjoying it. I also got a big box of yarn, Mel is doing a crochet along in her Patreon, and I want to learn how to be better at crocheting because I crochet my genre blanket every single year, but that's like pretty much it, and I don't really care. It's just like something to do. I like the vibe of having my genre blanket, but I'm not a perfectionist at crocheting at all. Like if I skip something, I don't really care. I don't really care if the ends are wonky. I was like, maybe I should do something that I care about. Like for that, it's just like seeing my books makes me happy, but I don't care if it's not like perfect. But maybe I should do something that I'll care a little bit more about and will teach me better skills. So I'm doing the crochet along with her. And so I'm doing like a flower blanket. And so it's very colorful. These are like all of my colors for it. It's gonna be colorful, but hopefully I'll like it, and I'm excited to see how it happens. I actually really like this yarn, and I think I'll be ordering this yarn for next year's genre blanket because I had a lot of colors, which like the yarn I use currently doesn't have a lot of colors, but it's very soft. But this one has a lot of colors, and I think it's decently soft. So I really like this mauve shade. The lighting in this corner of my room is awful, so sorry. It is literally just a roof light, like a little thingy. I actually ordered shelves this morning. Well, last night. They're gonna come today to go here. Hopefully, as long as they fit. I'll either put them right on this wall or maybe on the wall that like I face here. But I need more storage in this little area. This is like my little crafting corner. So I do like the overhead light just because it is easy to then see what I'm doing craft-wise. It's like the only time that I want the roof light, the big light, to be on. Although I was thinking about trying to make it cute somehow. I don't know. My boyfriend is an electrician, so hopefully I can do cool things like that, right? Like that's the point in dating someone like that. I have made a big dent. Last time I talked to you, I was on like page 200, I think. I have made it. I'm close to the end. I'm on chapter 32, so 390-ish. There was a good smut scene in this. There was a scene with 3 out of 4 of the men and her. That was incredible. Other than that, I just kind of feel the same about this one. It's very much a journey, a quest story, and it's more about the romance, and I'm not really invested into the romance. I'm invested into the plot and like where this plot is going in this one. I think I'll be interested in book 4's plot, but this one is just kind of lackluster to me. It's gonna probably be a 3-star. It's an easy listen and I enjoyed enough. I like Eva Chase's writing style, so it's fine for me. We're over here because yesterday my Christmas present from Nick's parents got here, and I'm very, very excited. I've kind of started using them. I started yesterday and I did these 2 little swatch things, and I do like the markers. Listen, I can't color inside the lines to save my life, so I'm definitely gonna need to get better at that. When you look at these, you see how bad I am of that. I have one more swatch to do this morning, and then I potentially will start coloring before Nick gets here. We're filming our podcast today, so he will be here at some point and will distract me, but hopefully I can finish this. I'm very excited to start coloring and have something to do while I listen to audiobooks that doesn't use a screen, because like right now I play a lot of games on like my Switch, and that like hurts my eyeballs. I also do crochet, but that one not enough of. Like I don't crochet enough, and I find it not as brain stimulating anymore. So I needed something that still stimulated my brain while I listened to the audiobook, because sometimes I can just zone out while I'm crocheting. I don't know what I'm gonna color, so that's fun. Hopefully I get better coloring in the lines. Oh, also I made coffee. I love a brown sugar latte. I did put a little bit of caramel syrup in this one today, which I don't overly like caramel flavored coffee, but I was just feeling it today. Pretty good. Like I predicted, I'm giving this one 3 stars. I liked it, I didn't love it, but there's still elements of this that I really enjoy. The plot I actually find just like so engaging, and like the world building in this. Essentially we're following, I don't think I ever said what this was about since it's a sequel, but in the first book we're following a main character who finds a dead body and accidentally steals the soul of that dead body, and then that soul is within her telling her about a conspiracy to kill the king. The soul convinces her to help with, where she goes to an academy and meets these other men that soul was working with, and ends up trying to figure out exactly what is going on and to save the kingdom and the realm. I do like it. It's got like intrigue to it in my opinion. Like it is a very interesting world building. The way you get magic is like sacrificing something to a god, and the god, depending on the sacrifice, will give you a power. So people like cut off a finger. Some people like scalped themselves. It's kind of disturbing when you think about it, but like you meet someone in this that literally they say that had to have their head fixed because they scalped themselves to get like a really big power. Like the more of a sacrifice you give, the bigger the power you get. So a lot of people are just like missing fingers. I did like this enough. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I'm excited to continue, and like I'm excited to see where this story completely ends up. So we do need to pick another book, but I've been coloring. The first thing I did was I just wanted to like get a feel for the markers, and so I'm just kind of was doing like a test color page. I'm really proud of my ombres. I think that they look really good. I tried to make plaid twice. The dark plaid failed. The light plaid was good. There's technically dots in this yellow one, but you can't see them because I used too close of a color. But ombre, I'm very good at. And then I decided to just dive in and start coloring. So I'm coloring this little ghost reaper. This was hard for me to figure out highlights because it's technically highlights from the moon, but I decided to still do yellow for it, and I wasn't sure if it should hit both, but in my eyes, the light is like coming down just like straight on both, if that makes sense. So far liking it. I definitely have things to improve on, but I haven't colored in years, and I've never colored with alcohol markers, but I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. It's really easy to listen to an audiobook while I do that. This book did not help us complete a series or anything, so I'm still sitting at, what, 54? I think that's what we're sitting at. We have really made little progress in this video so far. I do think at some point I want to sit down with you guys and like go through the spreadsheet and maybe get rid of some that I think I could just get rid of without reading, but also that's hard to do now because I'm scared since I loved From Blood and Ash so much. But we do need to pick another book. I also think I have some raccoon eyes going on, but like that's just what happens sometimes when like, you know, like you're laying down. I was watching TV earlier and like the blanket pillow was here and it just happens. Okay, yeah, we're still at 54. Okay. 44. Okay, we have our first automatic DNF. Because I don't want to read that. I have no interest. 44 on my sheet is Tales of the Edge, so I have to read the Lightborn, which is the next book. Collarbound was first, and then the Hawkling. And I did enjoy the Hawkling when I read it, and I was like, oh, it's just the end of a trilogy, I'll finish it. But it's been so long that I actually have no interest in finishing it, so I'm DNFing the Lightborn right now. This probably would have been one of the books that when I went through the spreadsheet I just got rid of because I just realized I have no interest in. I just haven't sat down and like gone through my spreadsheet in a while. So we will be DNFing that, which puts us at 53. I am not deleting that off the spreadsheet currently because I'm on my phone, so I'm just going to continue with the 54 because it'll make calculating my spreadsheet easier. 39. Oh, that's an interesting pick for me. 39 is Mr. Lullaby, which is kind of like a standalone sequel. Like it's like a companion novel to The Nightmare Man, which I did enjoy. I'm not 100% interested in this sequel, but I wanted to try it, so I think I do have access to it, I believe, somewhere. If I don't, I'm DNFing it. I want to say I have it on Libro as an ALC. I do. I'll update you in a bit, hopefully with good news. Or maybe bad news because then I get to DNF a series, which is always fun. I did make it a decent way through Mr. Lullaby. I'm actually really vibing with it. I remember being very shocked by how much I liked The Nightmare Man when I read it. I think I read it for my Monster High picks, my reads. I actually really want to do another one of these again. I love doing them. I've done them twice where like I picked like a niche show or something. I did Monster High and I did Barbie, and I did like a spinner wheel and picked like on Monster High it was a character, and I read The Nightmare Man, and I really did enjoy The Nightmare Man, so I don't know why I'm so shocked that I'm liking Mr. Lullaby as well, but I just like really enjoy the writing style. It feels really raw and human almost to me. We're following essentially a small town and a bunch of characters where things are going wrong. There's some kind of like serial killer or murder, but it's kind of like a little bit like fantastical leaning. Like you're like, is this what is actually happening, or is this thing? And you're not like 100% sure if it's like supernatural or not, and that does really work for me sometimes. I'm really intrigued. I like the characters we're following. I like learning, well, not all of them because some of them are not good. I don't like them, but like I enjoy their POV because it adds to the story and makes me feel unsettled, and that's how I want a book like this to make me feel. I want to feel unsettled. So I think I'm about 30 to 40% in. I should finish this today. I just filmed the REALMATHON announcement and that was so stressful. I guess I can show them off now because this video comes out after that comes out. Literally keeping these babies a secret. I've been using them in this video, so you might have already seen them. It was so hard. These are the prettiest bookmarks I've ever created myself. They are available on my Etsy. Hopefully they're not sold out. They sold out really quickly last year and I had to restock. I will have all my other bookmarks on there as well from the last couple years that I still have some of. I know for sure my Frankenkitty will be on there. I'll show you him. I love Frankenkitty. I think Frankenkitty is one of the cutest designs I've also done. There'll be a couple of them. I have made Patreon bookmarks for I think 2 years now. This was my 3rd year and I think they're a lot of fun. I like creating them, and when I have extras I do put them on my Etsy store. I don't always have extras, but sometimes I do. Like for Frank and Kitty, I have a decent amount because I got some for free because they forgot to color my border. The ones that my patrons got had an orange edge to them that is very pretty in my opinion, where these ones don't. And then last night I was listening to the audiobook while I was coloring again. We played Don't Starve together, and then I decided to color some more. And I'm kind of obsessed with the vibe of my page currently. I will probably show it to you again when I'm done, because I'm not done yet. And I ordered 3 more coloring books, so I will also do a little haul when they get here. I think my shelf is here that I need to put up as well in my room. I got lots of stuff to do today. And I have the REALMATHON announcement to edit so that it can go up on Saturday. I'm stressed. I don't know why REALMATHON stresses me out so much. 4 years into it, it probably shouldn't, but I'm still stressed. I'm still here though, and I already am planning REALMATHON 5. I feel like I have so much to talk to you about in this episode, but like first, can we give it to my hair? What is it doing today? It looks fabulous. This is slept on. I slept on my curls last night and just brushed them out this morning. Normally I have to like re-curl some pieces, but this looks incredible. It's giving blowout. Also, I feel like I've had a coffee in every single clip of this vlog. Apparently I've been very tired these days. Like, I need to stop drinking coffee every single morning because it's like part of the problem, because like you start to rely on coffee. Like caffeine is a drug. I've been needing it. I got out of bed late this morning, mostly because I stayed up coloring. Listen, if there's one thing I can say about myself is that when I get a new hobby, I become absolutely obsessed with it, and I just like eat, sleep, do that hobby. I have colored 3 pages already since Sunday. It is only Tuesday. And I'm probably going to color another one tonight at some point. Well, maybe not. I don't know. We'll show you the progress because I have been making some progress. I feel like my coloring has definitely improved. Here's my first one that you already kind of saw. This one, I really wanted to play with the lights. My biggest issues with this is, well, one, I fucked up on the head. I don't know if you can see, but I had plastic underneath instead of like cardboard, and some of the color seeped through. Then I don't really like the shadow color, and I feel like it's a little bit flat, especially considering I did lighting. I have to work on my flatness, but we can't all be incredible. Next up, I did this one, which I was inspired by these clouds. I saw someone do these clouds on TikTok, and I knew I wanted to do a page with them. I absolutely loved doing the clouds, and we'll definitely be playing with this like color more often. I think this one is really pretty. Again, I don't know. I'm like struggling to make things not feel flat, which will come, but like my shading was a little bit bad on this one. I think I have to be bolder. I saw someone on TikTok say like you have to be not scared to use a dark color for your shadows, and I think I'm scared to do that currently. I love the color of green, but I don't know if the green fits with like the rest of it as much. I feel like it pops a little too much. It doesn't look as cohesive. And then the one I did last night is my favorite so far. Look at this one. The little translucent ghosties. This was so fun to do and a lot easier than I thought it was. It also pushed me out of my comfort zone just a little bit because I did have to play with some darker colors that I don't typically use, because you have to have a dark color and a light color to make the ghost look a little translucent. There are still some issues with this, but I like that I like textured the grass a little bit. I wish I had done the same thing to the bush, but I was like worried that it would all look too similar then. And I don't like this pipe color. Really, I think one of my, oh, and the moon. The one thing I did learn is that if you're going to use a color, in order to make your picture look a little bit more cohesive, use it other places. So that's what really happened here, is I used the orange for the pumpkin, and then I was like, where else can I use this orange? So I used it for the pizza and the chair. Yes, it's like an orangey brown. I went very like muted. And then I had to use the red for like the pepperoni. So then I was like, where else can I use the red? And that's how I got like the brick effect. So I always tried to use every color a little bit more than once so that it was like more prominent on the page. But this blue color I obviously only used there, and then the moon color also only used there. So those are like my big issues with this one. But I think overall this is like my favorite. I feel like it's getting better. Again, I need to be more happy with shadows. Shadows are really, I'm scared of shadows. I'm scared I'm gonna mess them up. I'm scared I'm gonna mess the whole picture up. Which like I tried to shadow, I don't know if you can see, I tried to shadow like the house here a little bit darker, but you can't really tell. That's it. Those are my 3 coloring pages so far. I'm excited to see what I do now. My coloring books are actually coming today, and like I need to be held accountable here to actually use them, because I'm also thinking about getting a Valentine's Day coloring book, because Valentine's Day is coming up, and I think that'd be very cute to like color all the romantasy-a-thon, since I'm co-hosting that and I'll be like listening to a lot of audiobooks during that. So I'm like, but do I need 6 coloring books? Like I'm already about to have 5 once the ones come today. Do I need 6? But also at the speed I'm coloring, maybe I do. And like I really like to be inspired. Like I looked at the clouds and I was like, I want to do this one because of the clouds. And then I looked at the ghosty and someone mentioned translucent ghosty and I was like, yes, I want to do that, and I want to do the plaid picnic blanket. So I know that this one is going to be one that I do soon because I want to try like the bubble technique. Like I feel like a page has to inspire my creativity. So I feel like I need more books so that I can look at them at different times. Okay, but really as I did that, I listened to Mr. Lullaby and I finished it, and I really enjoyed Mr. Lullaby. I gave it 4 stars. I was surprised by how much I liked this one. I'm not really sure why, considering I liked The Nightmare Man a lot too. I just like really like this author's writing style. I will be reading their next book. They also have one that's out. It's called Sleep Tight, and it's not part of this series world apparently, even though it feels like it fits in really well with that name. But I just like enjoy the writing style and like their types of stories. I found this one really hit me. I think I liked it a little bit more than The Nightmare Man actually, because this one I feel like hit me because I am such a deep sleeper and I have some very vivid dreams, and they are so unhinged. I have been Hannah Montana, but instead of being a pop star with a wig on, I was the leader of the cannibals. I had this dream at like 14 and it's recurred throughout my life. At 8, I dreamt that I poisoned everyone at my birthday party. Just like last month, Nick had to wake me up and was like, what is going on? Because I was essentially being eaten by sharks. I was beating the sharks, but they were trying to eat me. What? I've done a bunch of things. I've been in the Hunger Games, but like also like this election. I don't know. I have some very unhinged dreams. I've been murdered by my boyfriend and my sister who teamed up and murdered me. And then as a ghost, I got to haunt them. Like my dreams are so unhinged. So like the fact that in this like world my dream could come to life as like a nightmare, like as like a serial killer, absolutely disturbing. Like imagine Hannah Montana as a cannibal walking down the streets. Like that's hilarious, but also like terrifying. So that hit me harder because like I am a dreamer. I am a very, 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 very vivid dreamer. So like this experience, this world that has been created, like kind of hits me because it plays on some fears. But I just like overall think the writing style is just like really, really pleasant to read. I like that it's not really a police procedural, but it has like elements of that I really like. It kind of feels a little like true crimey. I really should try true crime because maybe I would like that because I love stories like this. I loved that I was constantly disturbed and left knowing. I liked guessing where everything was gonna go. I liked being correct about things and wrong about things. I liked meeting all these different characters in this one. I actually truly enjoyed this one. I cannot wait to read more from the author. And this does complete this series. Even though like they're not really connected, you could read this one without ever reading The Nightmare Man, but they are like in the same world and I understand why they're connected, and I liked that element. I liked the like little Easter egg we got of The Nightmare Man. So we are on 52 series. I'm feeling good that we're finally getting this number down. I've been talking for a very long time, so let's do another random generated one. Just like before, I am gonna leave it. It's at 53 currently because I did delete the last thing from my spreadsheet. It's just easier to leave it there. Okay. $14. Oh, that could be scary. Okay, we landed on Tethered Spirits, which I own physically. I don't know if I want to read it. I didn't love book 1. Like, I liked book 1, but I didn't love it. But the author sent me book 2, so I kind of feel bad and I feel like I should try it. But also at the point where I am currently, I really just want reading to be fun and I don't want to force myself to read something. Is there an audiobook for it? I just know this is going to be a 3-star and like, I don't want to be reading 3 stars. There is no audiobook. I'm DNFing it. I don't need to try it. I would probably take this off if we sat down. So we are gonna go down to 51 currently reading series. Okay, let's do this again. 41? Okay, this one landed on Adrian X Isolde. We're also gonna DNF this right here. I'm being ruthless. This is the second book, Queen of Myth and Monsters, which is the sequel to A King of Battle and Blood. I liked A King of Battle and Blood, but I didn't love it. It was just okay. Well, I liked it quite a bit. And then everyone I've seen talk about book 2 has not really liked book 2. And I just don't know if I care to continue. Like, I know I don't care to continue. So we're also gonna DNF this one, which puts us at 50 currently read series. Okay, let's do this once more, hopefully. Okay, 21. Oh, I feel attacked. I feel attacked. This is a big boy. It landed on Blood Grace, so that is Blood Mercy's series, and so the sequel, Blood Union Part 1, is what I have to read. I think I'm only gonna force myself to read Part 1, and then I'll come back. It is a separate book completely. Like, technically they're one book, but I have to buy 2 physical copies. I have to buy 2 audio copies, so I'm just gonna count Part 1. This could be a make it or break it moment for this series. I have to decide. I loved book 1, and I really enjoyed book 2, but book 3 was such a flop for me. So I'm scared for book 4, but it's such a long series that I think I need something to happen or else I'm probably gonna DNF it, which is sad because I have the prettiest editions of these on my shelves. But there's an audiobook. I'm gonna go and get it, and I will listen to that today while I am either coloring, but actually I need to edit the REALMATHON video so that y'all can see the announcement that's already gone up at this point. I haven't really read any more since last time we talked. I'm only 30 pages in. I forgot how slow this book is. It just feels so calm. Like the energy of this series is just calm. Like even when like the climax of the story is happening, it feels very just like one energy. If nothing happens in this book, I will be DNFing the series, which will clear up a lot of room on my shelf. I edited the REALMATHON announcement, and that's what I really had to do today. Tomorrow I'm gonna take bookmark photos because I need those for Etsy. My coloring books got delivered, so we're gonna unbox them, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna pull them out one at a time. Why not? Ooh, what is this one? Ooh, this is the fairy core coloring one that I got. I wanted something a little whimsy that I could potentially like play with colors with. Oh, the test color page is very cute. Our beloved fuzzy friends stumbled upon an ancient, shimmering storybook. This tome contained enchanting fairy tales that whispered their name like sweet melodies. As they opened the book, a dazzling burst of golden light erupted from within and pulled them into a fairy world beyond their wildest dreams. This page could be fun. Oh, I really want to play with some water designs, so I'm excited to do this one. I want to play with like some different colors for me. Oh, the cute little bakery, like Little Red Riding Hood. Circus. There's some good ones in here. Oh, this one could be fun. That's my cat. This one could be fun to do like a lighting technique, like the book is magical and there's like light coming out of the book. Cute. This is a win for me. Oh, this is my another spooky one. I love a little ghosty, what can I say? But this one has some cats on the cover. Oh, a little fireplace one. That's exciting for me. I love to do like lighting things. This says human stories. Cute. This one with the cats baking is the cover photo and I love it. I like that there's some simple ones and a little bit more busier ones in this one. Okay, my last one is more boring. I just got like a cute spots one. So this one doesn't have people, but it just has a bunch of different like locations. I just wanted to test out some different things. It's fun to have variety. Cute. We have like a little coffee shop in a nut. The brew and bubbles. It'd be cute to have like bubbles coming out of here. I do think I need the Valentine's Day one. I think I need it. I want it. I'm gonna look for one and then we'll have another haul. But these were all wins for me. I'm excited to color in them. We made some lunchy. This is my favorite lunch. I've talked about it before. It's just so easy. It takes about 10 minutes, maybe 15 with some prep time. And it's just soup dumplings and essentially rice cakes that are stuffed with mozzarella cheese. It's absolutely delicious. And like just some dumplings and a little like saucy sauce. But I have made it a little bit further into this book. Sorry, my Discord is bumping. I'm 150 pages in. I think I know why I'm really struggling with these later books in this series, but loved the first couple. And I'm really hoping that that will change. Maybe I need some advice from people if you've read more more if we go back into like human territory. I think that since we entered into the vampire territory, if you don't know, the story follows Cassia and Leo. One is a human and one is a vampire, and their kinds hate each other. When they meet, they realize that there are stereotypes about each other, and they learn and kind of like fall in love with each other and each other's kind, and they like work for peace. Since we've entered the vampire land, I don't think characters have flaws. We have like the really big villains, like the king is still the villain, but we don't really see him much anymore. And in the last book, we had like a couple really bad like archetype style villains as well. But I feel like characters are either good or evil, and I want the mix in the middle. I wish that we had more flaws in characters. I feel like every single vampire is just like so pure and good, and I think that that's trying to play on the idea that vampires are bad. Like I understand like the humans are the corrupt ones in this one, but not having any of the humans really around and not seeing any of these more like fleshed out characters. Like I don't want my characters to be inherently good. I want them to struggle with some of their morality sometimes. I want them to feel more like real people, and I'm feeling like these characters almost feel one-dimensional, which is crazy because this is such a character story. Like we spend so much time with the characters, but because we never see their flaws really, or their flaws are like things that aren't actual flaws, it's missing the mark for me. Like I'm just feeling very disconnected from it all because like I'm not that good. I don't know a single person in my life who is that good, like make selfish decisions, and like I think they're trying to do that with her currently where she isn't becoming a vampire, but I feel like becoming a vampire is like the selfish thing to do. I need more depth to this than just here are these really sweet characters that do no wrong, and if that doesn't change, I don't think I will ever enjoy the story the way I did in those first couple books, because I feel like in the first couple books we really had some of those humans who wanted to do the right thing but couldn't and things like that. That is I think my biggest flaw with this. Okay, I'm going to eat my lunch before it gets cold now. I've made it to page 390 of this. Also, every single time I make an iced coffee, I think about how science can be so cool because I make my coffees with brown sugar. I like brown sugar espressos. Like I just had to replace the piece of bread that's in my brown sugar because my brown sugar was getting hard, and just like the science of the fact that putting a piece of bread in my brown sugar keeps it soft because the bread sucks up all the moisture that would then harden the brown sugar. I just find it so mesmerizing. Like I just think it's cool. Like it's cool that things react that way. Yeah, I was just staring at my really soft brown sugar that was not really soft 2 days ago. Book-wise, I'm still enjoying this. I have a feeling not much is going to happen, but like this is part 1 of a story. I'm deciding whether I'm going to read part 2 right now or not. I feel like my problem is that part 1 doesn't feel completed enough, and I don't want to forget what happened in part 1 before I go into part 2 because I know it just like picks up where it left off. But also last time I read them, I liked part 1 and didn't like part 2, and I think that's partially because of how long they are, that I think I might need the break in between, and that would maybe keep me enjoying them, because like overall I like the writing style of the story. I like the concept, but it just feels like a lot of meandering. It's the Wheel of Time of romantasy. Like there's a lot of extra information in these. It's really just about following the characters and spending little minor minutes with them. Like we're currently just bar hopping with them, and like this doesn't really need to happen. It doesn't truly add to the story, but it adds to those character moments because they are having cute moments and stuff. And like I just like Cassie and Leo, so like I do enjoy the story, and I think the writing style is just like really easy for me to listen to. But I also do have complaints. Like in this, at the moment in time, no spoilers, we're talking about her becoming a vampire. I feel like this isn't a spoiler because we all know in a vampire love story, eventually the character that's not a vampire has to become a vampire. But in this world, vampires have like nothing wrong with them, and so when they're telling her to like be sure and like to enjoy her humanity for a little bit because she's young, I'm so confused because it doesn't seem like being a vampire in this world really has that negative of an effect. Like she doesn't have like this bloodlust. The only thing is that they have to like separate for a little bit. I don't know, like I'm just like, why do we keep pushing this storyline of like she really needs to be sure, like she needs to enjoy her humanity, she's too young. Listen, if I'm swapping my life for immortality and all I have to do is drink blood of the person I love, I'm doing that. I don't see the negative effects, and so I think that that's hard. Like I know in like traditional vampire stories, like they can't go out in the sun, and so like they miss out on a lot of life, but in this they have their own community, they have their own situation, and they technically can feel the sun on them. Like they don't just like burn up in the sun, they just like sleep during those hours, and like in their society nighttime is when everything happens. So like I just don't see the negative part of becoming a vampire. So like, I'm just so confused of why we keep just like pushing that narrative. So that's like a really big complaint I have. And then again, like all these characters just seem so sweet and gentle, and I really need some like moral blending characters. Like I need some bad characters to be introduced that aren't like just typical tropey bad. Like I want to see some like raw moments, some raw feelings. But I'm almost done. I did do some coloring yesterday. I'm gonna get it. I'll show you. My friend Destiny got me this coloring book for Christmas, and she told me she was waiting for me to color in it. We're going on a coloring journey in this vlog, probably for the next month, to be honest. I want to do the 2 color challenge because I wanted to use some brighter colors that I don't typically gravitate towards. I wanted to just like step outside my like comfort zone and try something. Personally, I don't really like this page, but I still don't hate it. And I think it did like step me outside of my comfort zone a little bit. But here we are. My colors were purple and blue. So you can use different shades of both of those colors, but you just like can only use purple and blue. Really, I think my issue is I did too cool toned of a rock. Like I wish that this was not as grayish. And then I wish that I had done the whole ground, this like purple pebble. And then I was using a different paper. And so like you do have to kind of relearn with every single paper because things will bleed depending on the thickness. But I do like that I attempted this. I do want to try it again at some point. Also, I ordered more coloring books. I have a problem. This time it's really cute though. This time I ordered me, Mel, and Lexi all the exact same coloring book so that we could do some like coloring pages and like color the same pages or like compare them, like not compare them in terms of like a negative effect, but I love to see how someone's like brain processes something different. Like I love the interpretation we all could have. So I think it'd be really cute to see like all 3 of our pages and just see how different they all look. I think that's fun. So yeah, I bought us all the same coloring page. They're being delivered to them. So I'm excited for that one to come. That's it. I'll update you when I'm done Blood Union. We are back in bad lighting corner of my room because I am coloring. Who would have guessed it? I'm working on that Little Red Riding Hood page that I said earlier. This is turning out so good. I think I'm finding my stride a little bit, but I have finished Blood Union. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I actually kind of enjoyed this installment. I do think I'm gonna stop here. I think that that's gonna be my key to really liking this, is taking a break, because I do think that like this is so long. Like this book is 553 pages long, and that's just part 1. If I read part 2, which is the same size, that makes an 1,000-page book, and then I feel like that feels far too long for me. But I do think that this ends in a place that like it feels like a completed arc. It feels like a story. It feels like a book in the series that I don't necessarily feel the need to pick up part 2 right now. Like I understand why they split this up, but I kind of wish they had called it book 1 and book 2. Like I wish they were separate installments. So yeah, I am going to give this 3 stars. I'm not DNFing the series yet. I'm going to continue, which is good because I was actually very nervous that picking this up, I'd want to DNF it. I do think that potentially if I continued on right now to part 2, I would feel that way because the book would just feel far too long. But with the way I'm doing it, I think I like that. I think separating this one into 2 books is good for my brain. So we did not go down any series on this one, but that's okay because like I really did need to try the next installment in the series. It does remind me how much I do like being with these characters. Like I do enjoy the narrative tone and the characters in the story, even with all my complaints. I wouldn't be onto book 4 / essentially 5 because book 3 was 2 parts and each of them be 500 pages if I didn't enjoy what was coming out of this story. And so I'm happy that I still want to continue because I still own a couple more books and I would like to get to them. But we are ready to do another one. It's still gonna say 53 on here. 49? I'm actually going to veto this pick. 49 is Ruthless Fae, which is Savage Fae, because I started Zodiac Academy and that's also on here. I do think I want to get to book 3 of Zodiac Academy before I continue on in the Ruthless Fae series, just because recommended order is to read 1, 2, 3 and then go back and read that series. And I did read that out of order and it's fine to read it out of order, but since I'm already invested into Zodiac Academy, I want to read it in more of a recommended order now. So I am just going to veto this pick and we can do another one. 16. Am I gonna regret this? Oh. This is the Wayward Pine series, and I read Wayward in the last video, and I said I enjoyed it, and I was interested in knowing what was going to go down in it, but I don't think I have access to this anywhere. Let me check the library. Okay, this is a several months wait, so I am just gonna put this on hold. We are kind of cheating here. I'm gonna put this on hold because I do know I want to try this from the library, and we are gonna do another generator and hope for a good one because I don't want to pay for this series. Like, I don't enjoy it enough to do that, but I am interested in continuing. And as I said, the goal of this series is to get it to a list of books that I want to continue. It's not necessarily going to 0 series. And so having the library hold when that comes through, I'll have to read it at some point. So I think that that is a good compromise. Maybe to, at least to me, I think that that fits my rules enough. Like, I know that that is one I want to continue in. So let's try this one more time. 33. I feel personally attacked by this pick. Here's the thing. We have 2 days left of reading before I have to start my next vlog, so I'm being pickier, but we landed on The Throne of Honor and Blood, which I do need to read, but there's no audiobook for it. And I need an audiobook currently. But I can't just like veto 3 things in a row, can I? Well, it is my video, so it's my rule, so I guess I could. I'm gonna double check that there's no audiobook for this. I'm about to just go read fucking part 2 of this. Okay, there's not. I'm sorry. Normally I feel like I don't veto things in these videos, but because of where I am right now, we've already made a good dent. So I'm trying to be a little bit pickier because I got things I need to do. We're gonna do it one more time. And if this doesn't work out, I'm ending the video here. 41? Did we already get 41? Technically 41 is a book that is Adrian X. Ezold. So, because I haven't removed it from the spreadsheet, we have to do another one. This is getting ridiculous. 51? Did we already get 51? Oh, okay, we can do that one. That one is the next Zodiac Academy. So, Ruthless Fae. We can read that. This is really bad lighting, but I wanted to show you my page because it's done and this is my favorite one yet. This is so good. I'm very proud of what I did on this page. I think it looks so cute. My sister's about to pick me up. We're gonna go try a new Korean barbecue place. We're normally creatures of habits, and every time we stray from being creatures of habits, we're disappointed. So, really hoping that I won't be depressy when I come home. And if I am, I will color. I also re-downloaded Sims, so I might play Sims. So they can know what it's like here in Canada. Hi, it's been a few days. I really wanted to end this vlog yesterday, but here I am, I'm still reading my book. Yesterday was REALMATHON announcement day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I run a competitive team-based readathon in March. I'll leave the announcement down below for you to check out if you would like to check it out. It's a lot of fun. Any genres are welcome, and essentially we have 4 teams that go head to head. You read books to either add points to your team or you can take away points from another team. I love it. So I was really busy doing that. Today I'm going to be sending out bookmarks, so I also don't think I'm gonna read that much. I did want to kind of update you on Ruthless Fae. I am loving this book. I've just been very busy, and so like that's been the issue. It's not the book, but like when I'm in this book, I definitely want to keep reading. I just am very, very busy, and for like bookmarks, I can't listen to an audiobook while I do them. I will be watching TV probably, but like I am on 256, so I have made a good chunk, and like if I have time to read, I think I could finish this today. I think I have about 3 hours of listening time left in the audiobook. I just don't think I'm going to have time to read, so like that kind of sucks, but I just want to get bookmarks out for everyone so that they can have them before the readathon. I like this one. I like the continuation of book 1. I wish we were getting a little bit more about like the murder mystery and like what's going on in this one. I do feel like we are more about just like the bullying and the characters. So this one I'm not loving as much as the first one, but I'm still having a really good time with it. I still really like Tori. I'm not the biggest fan of Darcy, although I like her better in this one than I did in the first book, but Tori is my girl, and I don't know, like I like learning about all the characters. There's not much to say in this one. Like it is truly a continuation of Zodiac Academy, which follows these 2 girls as they find out that they are the long lost heirs to the throne of Solaria, and they are told that in order to take the throne and to get their inheritance, they have to graduate Zodiac Academy. There they meet these 4 men who are told they were going to be the rulers because they thought the heirs were dead, and they don't want these girls to succeed. They want them to run back to the human world and never come back, so they bully them to try to get them out of Zodiac Academy. Fun time read. That's really my update on this. I'm gonna watch, I have an episode of The Traitors to watch today, and then probably Deal or No Deal I'm gonna start because Lexi's been loving it, and I love reality TV, so why not watch it? I ordered booster juice to my house this morning. I'm really proud of myself for not ordering a coffee. I feel like I've really been like needing coffee, and I never like to feel that way. I like coffee to be like a treat for me, but I don't want it to be something that I wake up and I'm like, I need coffee to function. So I did get a mango hurricane booster juice, which is like a smoothie with an energy booster to hopefully keep me a little bit more awake. And I got a Chipotle chicken panini because food is also an energy giver. Hopefully eating will help. That's all I have to say. I will update you probably at the end of Zodiac Academy again. I did finish Zodiac Academy 2 yesterday, and I packed 120 orders. I still have a lot of orders to pack, but there are a few things I need to talk about earlier. I did DNF this series in this vlog, so I will be unhauling these 2 books from my shelf. And then I don't know if I ever updated you on Korean barbecue. If I did, please ignore this, but we did go to Korean barbecue and it was okay. It wasn't great. I don't think we'll ever go back again to that place because we do have a place in our city that we really like. This one was just like really close, so we were really excited for it, but it was just okay. Like, the food was okay. It was nothing special, and the other one we like better. So we'll go there over this one. Actually, technically, Amber and me say we like Japanese barbecue more than Korean barbecue. We're really like a side people. Like, we love sides, and the sides at Japanese barbecue just hit different. Although I do love a good kimchi too. I'm giving this 4 stars. This one felt a little less plot heavy than book 1 did, but I complained when I read book 1 that I wanted to understand the guys more. I wanted to get to know the guys, and book 2 really does that. So I feel like I have a really good base for book 3 moving forward, where I like the guys, we can move on to plot and all of that, and I feel like everything has been really well set up within these first 2 books, and I still enjoyed them, so I can't complain about them. Like, I'm still giving this 4 stars. I just think it missed a little bit of plot and meandered a little bit with the characters. Like, it was really about the bullying in this one. Like, we saw a lot of that. I liked having the girls stand up for themselves. I like Darcy a little bit more in this one than I did in book 1. I'm still a Tori stan, but Darcy did grow on me a little bit. Men-wise, I still don't like Seth. I'm still picturing the ginger from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I still don't like him. I don't know what it says about me, but I am definitely rooting for Mr. Teacher to be endgame, but I have no idea if he is. I think he's not. Like, something in my head is like telling me that he's not, but I'm here for it. I would like that to happen. I kind of love him, and obviously, like, I love our little dragon shifter, which is funny because when I read Dark Fae, the other series by this, the dragon shifter, I like literally could not take seriously, I don't think. But this dragon shifter, he's got like a brooding sense to him that I'm really enjoying. Okay, even though I said this did have less plot in it overall, the plot that we did get, I did really like. I liked the snippets at the family homes, like when we go to that event and things like that. Like, there were parts of this that I did really enjoy. It's still getting 4 stars for me. I still had a really good time. It just didn't give me 5-star obsession. But this does not help our series list. We did not get down a series at all. This does put me 1 step closer to then going back to binge that prequel series and completing that prequel series before I continue on in Zodiac Academy. So it does help. Like, every time I read a book that is a series that doesn't get my number down, it helps me continue to that number. And as I said earlier, I just want my list to be full of series that I'm actively working on and actively enjoying. And so we are finding out what that list will look like. So I'm very happy with our success in this episode. At this current time, I have no idea what number we're at, so editing Cassidy will add it here for you. Episode 5 will be coming shortly. I have no idea what I'm doing for it, so if anyone has any recommendations for how I can pick my books for that one, let me know. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to just leave me an emoji to say you were here, leave me your corresponding star sign. Like, if you're a Leo, leave me a lion. I am a Cancer. And have yourselves an absolutely incredible day.